My name, clumsily written in bold letters, all uppercase, as I try and cover up the truth. Low-educated, fake dad. It was centered, proud, and impossible to miss. My place card at the groom's father's table. Before I could even take my seat, her side of the family, lawyers, professors, and some smug government official, burst into laughter. One of them leaned toward the next, whispering just loud enough to cut through the noise. Looks like anyone can raise a kid these days. I stood frozen, hands shaking, eyes fixed on that chair, the one that should have been a symbol of pride, but instead mocked me. My own son, my flesh and blood, didn't even glance my way, just adjusted his cufflinks and kept chatting with his new in-laws like I wasn't even there. That should have been my cue to leave, but I didn't. Not yet. He was just 3 when his mother walked out. No note, no goodbye, just vanished, leaving me with diapers, overdue bills, and nothing but silence. I took on construction jobs during the day, janitor shifts at night. Cold leftovers were dinner most nights, while he slept beside me on a hand-me-down mattress. I never made it past 10th grade, but I raised him with hard lessons: how to stand your ground, how to speak with steady eyes and a level chin, never cocky, never bowed. When he graduated with honors, I stayed in the back row of the auditorium, afraid my presence might embarrass him. He never said it out loud, but I saw it in the way he avoided eye contact. Still, I clapped louder than anyone else in that hall. Then the signs crept in quietly. He stopped calling me Dad, switched to Pops, then just, hey, started brushing me off with things like, you wouldn't understand, whenever I asked about his work. I smiled through it, thinking maybe that's just how growing up works. One afternoon, I brought lunch to his office. Homemade stir-fry, still warm. The receptionist blinked at me like I didn't belong. Said I wasn't on the approved guest list. Through the glass conference room, I heard laughter. Hers. His fiancée, the same woman who always looked at me like I tracked dirt into her world. He never acknowledged the lunch, never brought it up, and neither did I. But it wasn't the laughter that cracked something in me. It was how he looked away when I reached to take the untouched plate back, like he wished I'd vanished before anyone noticed we were related. So I straightened my coat, ran my fingers over that nameplate one last time, and walked away. No words, no tears. But just as I reached the door, he stood up, walked past his bride, past her snickering relatives, and caught up to me. Dad, let's go home, he said. No apology, no shame, just a command, like I was a burden being graciously handled. I left alone, but I didn't go home. Not yet. They had no idea who really laid the groundwork for their empire. While he studied business and built his startup, I was working inside data centers, wiring server rooms, helping tech giants scale their systems. I picked up skills, made connections. One winter, I invested in a struggling cybersecurity firm, a favor for an old friend on the brink of foreclosure. That favor turned into 38% ownership. Guess who their newest client turned out to be? My son's company. The one he co-founded with his wife. The one that just landed a lucrative government contract. The one already being quietly investigated for suspicious data practices. I didn't need to hack a thing. I just had to open the door for others to look. It began with an audit. Then came subpoenas. Then leaks. Carefully curated and anonymously delivered. Whistleblower reports exposing doctored engagement metrics, ethically questionable algorithms, and shortcuts his wife proudly approved behind closed doors. Her father tried to pull strings, but nothing stuck. I sat in the back during the Senate hearing, watching him sweat through his suit, bluffing through tough questions while the company's stock value free fell in just 3 days. He called once. I didn't answer. Instead, I contacted the cybersecurity firm and ordered them to terminate the contract, publicly, and leaked the reason: violation of ethical standards. That headline traveled fast. Investors jumped ship. Partners froze their deals. Layoffs followed like dominoes. And I remained invisible. 3 weeks later, he showed up at my house. Not the sleek condo I bought for him. Not the apartment I paid for during his internships. My house. The one with cracked walls and a front porch that creaked under tired feet. He stood at the gate like a boy again. No Rolex, no polished shoes. just a hollow face. "They made that car without telling me," he said. I looked him in the eye. "But you let them laugh." He nodded. "No excuse. Just truth." I stepped aside. Let him in. Not because I forgave him, but because silence wounds deeper than anger. He lives here now, humbled, unemployed, learning what it means to exist without status. As for me, I still work, not for money, but because I love the feel of soil in my hands. I'm not a fake dad. I'm the man who raised a boy, then taught him what happens when you forget the hands that built your future. And that was the real education.